ESPN classic More Ashes Cricket from 1981. Also known as Botham's Ashes, it's day 3 of the 5th Test.
It's Test match history.
Oh, beautiful stroke, beautiful stroke. And he's done it.
Welcome to the highlights. It should be a great day. I must tell you that occasionally on Saturdays in recent years, we've had some pretty ordinary cricket. Not so today, we hope, because the whole thing is set up wonderfully well for the home crowd. A packed house yesterday with the gates closed, and today England start off 171 runs ahead. A tremendous position for them to be in, just the 1 wicket down, that of Graham Gooch yesterday afternoon. Conditions, very good. Bit of a cloud cover, but the forecast is excellent. And here's the first ball of the day now. Dennis Lillee, that great Australian fast bowler, is coming in to bowl to Geoffrey Boycott, and with me in the commentary box, Peter Parfitt. It's good running for a start. Geoff Boycott was quick to pick up the single yesterday, and starts off in the same vein today. One wide of the bowling crease. Michael Whitney, the fielder. It's well bowled. Boycott is LBW to Alderman. My word, this young fellow has beaten the England opener on so many occasions this summer. That was a good delivery, beating what was purely a defensive stroke, and Australia have taken their second wicket.
Would you believe it? He's fallen for the card trick again, dropped it short, the man at mid-wicket, and David Gower once again has obligingly held out. England 80 for 3 with Gower going for just a single, caught by Bright off the bowling of Lillee. And finally he's moved it along. In terms there of doubling his first hour's output. And he's off the mark with the typical fairly short-armed hook shot that he plays very regularly.
And this will be one of Mike Gatting's problems, whether to hook or not to hook.
Character slip. We'll just possibly get another look at that and see exactly where it hit Mike Gatting.
As we said early on, this is going to be the problem, because Dennis Lillee is going to test him out, and it was very difficult to tell whether there was a little bit of glove on that or not.
And that's the first 4 of the morning. A thoroughbred stroke from Mike Gatting, and what a relief for the crowd. And it's enough to get the Union Jacks waving. And he's going to go. Terry Alderman takes yet another victim, his 3rd of the innings, his 7th of the match. And England go into, well, nearly at lunch now at 98 for 4.
And that's pushed through the offside. A rare cheer. They've really reached the state here of cheering singles, and there's 2 this time for Tavaré. So that makes the 11th run he scored today. And it brings the 100 up for England. 101 on the board now for the loss of 4 wickets, with TAVARÉ moving on to 40. Alderman to Brearley. And that's so beautifully taken down the leg side. Alderman struck again. Brearley goes. He's out for 3, and England lose their 5th wicket with 104 on the board. Just drifted down the leg side, and Brearley moving across, helping it into the wicket-keeper's hands. Well, he's got 2 men back, a deep square and a deep long leg for Ian Botham, his first ball. And he's worked that away. He's off the dreaded pair, and that will no doubt bring a huge sigh of relief, and I'm quite sure a big grin. There it is.
So Chris TAVARÉ needing 1 for his 50, facing Mike Whitney. And he's got it with a short single to mid-wicket. So TAVARÉ's patient, enduring effort brings him his second 50 of the match. My word, it's been hard work, but 5 England wickets have gone down, 4 of them since he's come in, and he's still there. Right again to Botham. And that's a good shot, and that's going to be Botham's first 4, the first 4 for England since lunch, and only the second of the day. And really this match is crying out now for some of the belligerence that Ian Botham showed at Headingley. Can be entirely understood, because they've had to wait patiently for any aggression from the England batsmen. Whitney to Botham. Oh, and that is off the inside edge, extremely lucky, going for a big shot through the covers, and a very thin inside edge. Marsh having no chance of cutting it off with his left hand.
Through the gap, well in the chaser. Three there to TAVARÉ. Whitney now to Botham. Botham's on 21. 4 goes to 25. They just mustn't give this fellow room to play outside the off stump. It doesn't look to me as though they've picked up anything from their Headingley experience. Anything that gives him room outside the off stump, he just thrashes.
And really, it's West Indian style. Hit it on the up. He doesn't get very close to it, but he hits it on the up, and very, very solidly indeed.
Botham, and the crowd is now animated. They were very quiet early on, and so was the batting. And up comes the 150 for England. Ian Botham goes to 28, TAVARÉ 59. So David Constant has taken the second new ball from Ken Palmer and walks back up to the Warwick Road end. Terry Alderman comes back on. Out comes the ball out of the cellophane. And that second new ball being taken instantly by Kim Hughes. mustn't give him room outside the off stump. What a catch for Whitney to have to take. He's put it down. But what a steepler, what a terrible moment for a lad playing in his first Test match. It was miscued and it went so high. He thought he had it and then hesitated and had to make ground for it once again. Dennis Lilly. In the air and 6. That was a good hit because he was beaten for pace with it and he took his eye off it and still swung the bat and collected it over deep square leg. In the air. And again. He's beaten Whitney and Wood away there at deep square. No hooking down there, safely into the ground. But once again smashed behind square.
And another bouncer here. And this time, Ian looks at it. And he hits it right in the middle. And that goes for 6. His second 6 of the over. And it takes him on to 48.
Just not learning at all, the Australian bowlers. At Headingley, they gave Botham room to play his strokes. Here, they're doing it again, and he smashed them for a quick 50. 60 balls it's taken him, 2 6s and 6 4s. And it's delighted this capacity crowd here at Old Trafford. Good shot. Well, Dennis was very lucky there that he was on the way down with his head as the ball went past. So Botham has gone ahead of TAVARÉ now. 65 to number 6 and 63 to number 3. And that drew Alderman into the trap. The first one up to be driven down the ground. Now that was just about the best shot Botham's played today. Good shot. And amongst all the blazing hitting, TAVARÉ's producing the occasional gem. And in the background, the crowd rises for the 3-figure partnership. In the air for 6. He plays that shot very well. He doesn't bother looking at it. He just swats it away like well, as though he is smashing a fly.
And this is another astonishing shot. Just watch Ian Botham's head. He's not looking. He still swipes it for 6.
Dropped him. I'd say that he got the hands to that.
I swept, I'd rather imagine, from about middle and off. Not quite middle, but it takes Botham on now to 96. And brings a look of disgust there from Bowler Bright.
Yes, certainly pitched outside the off stump there, but Ian Botham somehow got it down to fine leg for 2 good runs.
Well, that one didn't. Lily's there. It's cleared him over the ropes. What a magnificent way to go to a 6. What a superlative exhibition this has been. And the whole of Old Trafford rising to its feet to acclaim yet another memorable, magnificent performance from Ian Botham. Down the wicket, big hit, glorious shot, all the way. Up go the arms, 6 more for Botham. And that's 6 times he's cleared the boundary in his total of 109. Little bit of lift there and he's gone, caught behind, and the end of a truly memorable, magnificent performance by Ian Botham. 118. Young Mike Whitney takes his wicket. It's another very simple catch, in fact, this time to Rod Marsh. But the whole of Old Trafford, you can be sure, will be on their feet. And they're going to applaud him all the way in, a reception he so thoroughly deserves. Nothing could have been better for a packed Saturday afternoon crowd than to see an exhibition of stroke play such as we've seen from Ian Botham.
I reckon the Australians will be more pleased to have that view of Ian Botham than any they've had out on the field for the last couple of hours. That's how it all happened. That's Ian Botham's scorecard as put together by Wendy Wimbush, our scorer. And it shows 1 or 2 very interesting things. Just have a look at those strokes away on the offside, which indicate just how much room the Australian bowlers were giving Botham for his strokes. The only strokes he played on the onside were the 6s he hit from the Warwick Road end, and the ones he swept away off Raymond Bright. Those are the details of what was a magnificent innings that spanned the tea interval. You can see it finished at 4:52, and what a performance it was. Eventually caught Marsh bowled Whitney. He received 102 balls and he scored his century from 86, and that included 5 6s and 11 4s, a total of 6 6s and 13 4s in the whole of his innings, and I thought it was a better knock than the marvellous innings he played at Headingley. 118 in that total of 253 for 6. Still there is Chris TAVARÉ on 69. Well, 2 overs after that happened, the score was still 253 for 6. It hadn't changed at all, and Chris TAVARÉ and Alan Knott were just getting ready to settle in for some more run-getting for England. Here's Michael Whitney now coming in to bowl to Alan Knott, and in the commentary box, Peter Parfitt is with Jim Laker.
And push that away quite nicely into the offside. Sees him underway with a single.
Oh, and yet another inside edge. There have been an extraordinary number of those in this match. And poor Rodney Marsh, once again throwing a despairing left hand at that.
Way outside the off stump, which Alan Knott takes a slog at, and it goes down the leg side. Rodney Marsh very nearly stops it.
And he can play a few shots as well. It's not going to go to the boundary. Well, neat bit of rugby passing to Graham Yallop. And he's gone. At last, Australia get Chris TAVARÉ out for 78. And in the end, it was a simple slip catch. The ball lifting very suddenly there, and TAVARÉ, who's played the short ball so well, really unable to keep that down. It was, once he got behind it, more or less unplayable. And that's nicely played and nicely timed by Embry. Wood after it. Well, now, I think there was a yellow 4 from the crowd behind Wood, and it seems to me that they may just be right there. And still the crowd yelling 4 with... and now he's given 4. Oh, and it's through Willem. Hit it very hard. Well fielded by Dyson, the third man, but that brings up the 300 for England. Crowd enjoying this. Plenty of variety for them today. And that's beautifully struck. That you really meddled, and not it bounced back off the advertising board in front of the pavilion. He's always been a great sweeper, Tom.
Yes, and Alan sweeps on length, not direction. If the length's right, you can sweep the ball. Super shot.
Oh, and now he's really, this is the impish knot of old. And like Botham before him, he's a difficult man to bowl to when he's in this mood, because he can invent strokes.
.50 to Alan Knott, and that's a real good hand from Knotty. The 2 there.
Big applause for the 50 partnership. Very, very useful partnership this for England. Exactly what was required.
Well, in years to come, people will look at that scorecard at the end of the third day of this Old Trafford Test match, and they'll say, well, that was a pretty ordinary day. 275 runs made and 6 wickets fell, so it's just in the normal context of Test cricket. In fact, 29 runs were scored in the first session, 127 in the second, 119 in the third, and Ian Botham played an absolute blinder. Really was a corker of an innings, that, and Alan Knott gave him tremendous support there with 56, Chris TAVARÉ with his 78, and I must say a word for TAVARÉ, 69 in the first innings, 78 in the second. I have a high regard for his method and also for his courage, a very uncomplicated method. It's simple, and there are a lot of young players around who would do well to try and copy it. He plays so straight. 345 for 7, and some of those bowlers took a bit of a hammering towards the end, although their figures, in fact, don't look all that bad because they bowled so accurately and well early in the day. Lilly 1 for 106, Alderman 5 for 105 from 44 overs and 14 maidens. He has 37 wickets in this Test series now, and Whitney 1 for 68. Well, what a day, and what a performance from Ian Botham. Very good little innings there from Alan Knott at the end. And Australia now, if they're to win this match, will have to establish a new record in the history of Test cricket for teams batting fourth and winning a game. And he's done it.